Hello and welcome to your 20 minutes Hatha yoga class. Today's class is going to be a rebalance, reset, and coming into light movement patterns so that we can move our bodies and reconnect with our breath. So without further ado, coming into a nice seated position that is most comfortable for your practice today. You can either come into a kneeling position like I am doing today, or you can come into the traditional seated position with your legs crossed. Either way, we're going to go ahead and gently close the eyes if that feels comfortable today. Really focusing on releasing some facial tension. If you have a tendency to clench your jaw, or have any tension in your facial features, really bringing your breath to soften a little bit deeper into our face today. We'll take nice deep inhalation, feeling our rib cage expanding, our lungs nourished, and exhaling, feeling from the depth of our abdomen, the release out of the exhalation. Once again, inhaling, feeling the rib cage expanding, and exhaling to feel the heat in your abdomen. 3 more times at your own comfortable pace. Nice, deep and complete inhalation, and nourishing, complete exhalation. Feeling the breath really warm up our inside, our inner soul and inner mind. Focusing on lengthening through the spine. Hips are nice and heavy. And continue to connect with our breathing today. We'll take one last complete nourishing inhalation and exhalation out, really feeling the abdomen warming up. And on your next inhalation, gently opening the eyes back up, and we'll get right into our standing position. Today we'll come into the top of our mat. We'll go ahead and place your feet in hip distance apart, perhaps swaying forward and backwards, rising the heels up, rising the toes up off the floor, and rocking yourself forward and backwards so you feel a nice balance in the center. So finding an equal distance between your toes and your heels. Once you find that distance, placing your feet back down deeply onto the earth. On your next inhalation, bringing your arms up towards the sky. Fingertips are nice and lengthened, biceps towards your ears. And on your exhalation, hip hinging from the waist, slight bend in the knees, either bringing your hands to your thighs, your shins, or all the way down the sides, your feet, relaxing the head and the neck. Inhale to rise up, lengthen the arms up above your head and reaching up towards the sky. And exhale again to come back into your forward fold, releasing head and neck tension. Inhale slowly and gently rising up, lengthen through the upper body. And exhalation again to forward fold, deep and nourishing for our hips and our legs here. 2 more times. Inhaling to reach up, relaxing the shoulders down, but still reaching the arms nice and long. And exhaling to come back into your beautiful, nourishing forward fold. Inhale, rising back up all the way up towards the sky, lengthen through the spine. And exhaling to come back into nourishing forward fold. Now on your next exhalation and finding yourself into forward fold, keeping your hands either on your thighs, your shins, or the floor, and now swaying your hips side to side. relaxing all the other muscle groups and just focusing on your hips. Just a gentle nourishment for our spine, specifically our low back, and our posterior chain, the back of the legs, and our hips. And on your next inhalation, let's go ahead and bring your arms up. Again, vertebrae by vertebrae, your chin is the last thing that will lift up toward the sky. And on your next exhalation, bring your hands into Namaste, into Heart Center. Staying here for just a couple moments. You can either keep your eyes open here or keep your eyes closed here and just staying in the standing position to reconnect with our breath. Breathing nice deep inhalation through your nose and deep exhalation out, either through the nose or out through the mouth. 3 more times. Deep breath here. With every breath, feeling a little bit more of a lengthening in your spine. And feeling your breath strengthen into our internal organs. And on your next inhalation, reaching the fingertips up toward the sky. And exhaling back into forward fold. Now, on your next inhalation, placing the palms firmly beside you with the earth connecting. And bringing your feet back into high plank. From here, either coming onto your knees and bending into your elbows for chaturanga or zigzag line. And inhalation to reconnect your toes down onto the earth and heart lifts towards the sky. Exhaling, bending into the elbows and pushing your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Staying in downward facing dog for just a couple breaths. Making sure that your toes are connected firmly down. All 5 fingers of your hands and all 5 of your toes on each side are really strongly rooted down onto the earth. Shifting your hips actively back and lifting your navel up towards the sky to firmly come into a strong core, hip, and back activation here. Taking one last full cycle of breath in downward facing dog. And on your next exhalation, slowly coming back to meet back into high plank position. Holding here in high plank for just a moment. Relaxing the shoulders, squeezing the back muscles. Shoulder blades are connected here. Core is drawing in strongly. And eye gaze is just 1 hand's distance away from your fingertips. Beautiful work, everyone. Taking 1 more full cycle of breath. And on your next exhalation, shifting your body weight back in towards your hips and coming back into downward facing dog. Beautiful work, everyone. And downward facing dog. Either keeping yourself in a nice neutral position or perhaps swaying your hips side to side to release some tension even further. Beautiful work. And on your next inhalation, slowly coming back to meet back into high plank. And we're gonna go ahead and center your left palm in the center. And now we're gonna swivel over to your left side. So now either keeping your legs staggered or stacked, whichever one feels more comfortable, we'll come into our side plank. Now for my friends who would like to take this down, you can come into a modified version with your knees down onto the floor and lifting up in our side plank position. Either way, we'll come collectively to meet back into side plank and holding here for just a moment, relaxing your shoulders away from those ears and really feeling the heat in your abdomen and shoulder blades nice and squeezed in towards the back. Eye gaze can be looking towards me or looking up towards your fingertips. Beautiful work, everyone. Last full cycle of breath, really grounding from that bottom palm. Beautiful. And on your next exhalation, slowly swiveling back into high plank position. And we'll switch to the opposite side. Now, right palm comes down in towards the center. Swivel over, back into either knees down or staggered or stacked position for the legs. And fingertips reach up towards the sky. Checking in with that shoulder, making sure your shoulders are back and your upper back muscles are squeezing behind you like beautiful angels, lifting your arms up and having a beautiful guidance for your upper back to squeeze and activation. Nice. Looking good, everyone. We'll take one more full cycle of breath here. And on your next exhalation, slowly coming back to meet back into high plank position, and slowly and gently pushing back into downward facing dog. Keeping the eyes open or closed, and perhaps shaking your head yes and no to get a little bit more of a release for our back and our neck and facial features. Beautiful work. We'll take 3 more full cycles of breath here. Nice deep inhale through the nose and deep exhalation out, either through the nose again or through the mouth. Feeling a strong connection with all of your fingertips, palms, and your toes, sinking deeply into our earth beneath us. Last full cycle of breath here. And on your next inhalation, looking up towards your fingertips, either stepping, alternating sides, one leg at a time, back up into forward fold, or coming into our hop by lifting your heels up, shifting your hips back, and coming into forward fold. Inhale, reaching your fingertips nice and long, holding your hands up right above you. Now from here, we'll lift the heels up, away from the floor, and keeping your arms lifted up and your heels lifted off the floor, we'll gently bend into the knees, slowly coming back into the seated position onto our floor. Once your glutes meet your heels or towards the floor, gently coming back into seated position. Beautiful. Now from here, we're gonna go ahead and gently shift your hips back, and we're gonna go ahead and lengthen into your feet here. For my friends who have any tension behind your legs or your knees, feel free to keep a slight bend or lift off from the floor into our forward fold position in seated today. And for my friends who feel completely and absolutely nourished, we'll go ahead and lengthen your legs all the way and keeping your feet flexed today. From here, placing your palms down onto our sides of our hips, lifting your hips up so that your spine and the hips are in a nice, beautiful alignment, sitting up nice and tall. From here, on your next inhalation, reaching up your fingertips nice and high, biceps towards your ears, and exhaling to forward fold, either grabbing a hold of your quads, your shins, or your toes. Nice. Inhale again to rise up, lengthen a little bit deeper in towards the spine, and exhaling to come into our beautiful and nourishing forward fold. Nice. Let's do this 2 more times in dynamic. With every inhalation, lengthening through our spine. And with every exhalation, seeing if you can get a little bit deeper into your forward fold. Last time in dynamic, inhale, reaching those fingertips nice and long with the spine. And exhaling, coming back to reach your feet or your shins. Now in the static position, staying here, perhaps keeping your eyes open softly, or you can feel free to close the eyes here and just melt your body, letting gravity do its work, not forcing anything, but allowing yourself to get a little bit deeper with this movement and this rebalancing stretch with your breath. And we'll stay here for last full cycle of breath. See if we can get a little bit deeper in your seated forward fold for your last cycle of breath. And on your next inhalation, bringing your fingertips up away from our feet, lengthen through the spine, and exhaling to gently bring your hands back towards your hips. Nice. Let's go ahead and gently coming back into your reclined position. And if you feel this calling to bring your knees in towards your chest, feel free to do so, or keep your feet on the floor. Beautiful. Perhaps giving yourself a nice warm hug, thanking yourself for the hard work that you've done today. Perhaps shifting your hips side to side, giving yourself a nice low back and spinal massage here to bring some blood flow back into the area. And whenever you feel ready, we're coming into a beautiful Shavasana. Bring your feet into a lengthened position, allowing your hips and your legs to turn out naturally, and bringing your palms up to face towards the sky. Perhaps keeping your eyes just gently open, soft gaze. Or if it feels comfortable for you today, bring your eyes into full closure, reconnecting with our breath work. See if you can get a little bit deeper with your breathing, feeling with every inhalation only the positive energy around us coming into your body, and exhalation, letting go of any negative thoughts or negativity that comes from internal and let it go. Staying in Shavasana for as long as you need today. Feeling your body reconnecting with the earth that surrounds us, with positive energy only. Taking in only positive energy and bringing it to your inner soul. If you feel ready today to come out of Shavasana, we'll gently bring your fingertips and your legs just to wake them up. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, just gently, perhaps rocking your hands and your feet side to side, and your head side to side if that feels good. When you're ready, coming into our right side, and into our knees, and staying here for just a moment, reconnecting with your body and your breath. And when you feel ready, gently coming back into our seated position, keeping either your eyes softly open or closed. Keeping your hips heavy and the neck, the head, and the spine nice and lifted up towards the sky. Coming into your natural cycles of breath, not forcing anything, but just allowing your body to breathe, to be nourished, and to bring just the positivity of everything that surrounds us, and letting go of all negative thoughts that persist in our minds this holiday season. Bringing your hands into heart center in Namaste. Thank you so much for joining us today in a gentle movement for your body. And I hope that you're able to reconnect with your inner soul, to relieve some potential tension, not just physically, but also mentally, through this gentle flow. until next time, have a wonderful day. Namaste.